Now let's continue our Python learning process 1, 2, 3. Today we're gonna work on the data frame operations and data plots. In Python, an important data structure is called dictionary. Dictionary is a very powerful and popular in storing and processing the data. So dictionary is to use the curly bracket to hold the pairs of the key value combinations. Let's use our daily life, the grocery basket, as our example. Say we have our shopping items, cabbage, apple, banana, and bread. Each item gonna have specific quantity and total cost. Okay, we place everything in a basket. For here, the item is called key, and the list of the values called values. The cost is the key, the numbers is values. Okay. So in Python, we may define a dictionary based for this basket like this. Okay. Eventually, it will be stored in Python as a table like this. This will be turned into a data frame. Now let's talk about a data frame. In Python, it has a very famous class called DataFrame. DataFrame is the most popular class that helps the Python users and developers to easily manipulate the data and work out some fabulous results. Some people also comment like, if you know the data frame well, you know Python well. If back to our example, we used in grocery basket dictionary, the data frame looks like a table. It stores the information of items, cost, and quantities about the basket by grouping them together in rows and columns. For here, we have 4 rows and 3 columns to compose a single data frame. Now, let's take a look at some functions embedded in the data frame class. Pandas provides many data frame functions that can be used for data extractions, data slicing, querying, and evaluations. We just listed some common functions here that people may usually use. Actually, in total, we could have 200 more different functions embedded in the data frame. For example, to list the top 2 rows, we can write this way, df.head and parentheses number 2. And you want to show the shape of the table, you could type df.shape, right? This is all the functions we listed here for our practice. Now, let's look at some plotting. In a data frame, it also provides some functions like data plotting. And we're going to have a practice on the plotting functions later on. Now, let's have some exercise on how to create a data frame and how to play with it. As shown in the example, a data frame will have rows and columns. Now let's say we have 3 columns individually. We're going to give them the column names like item, cost, and quantity. And they're all belonging to the dictionary basket. Okay. And let's define the dictionary first. We call a dictionary like basket, right? And we're going to have a curly bracket to hold the definition for their keys and the values. And we're going to define the first column called item, and then followed by a list which has some value inside. Apple, banana, bread. Okay, and then give a comma to close definition for the first column. And then we're going to have second column to define, which is called cost. Okay, those are values related to this cost. And then quantity. Followed by a list. For example, like this. After we define this dictionary, we're going to use a curly bracket to close definition. Now that we defined the first dictionary, we can just simply place and convert it into a data frame by using the pandas data frame function and give a name for this data frame as df. Pandas data frame, and hold this dictionary we just defined. Always remember, in Python, it's case sensitive. So please follow how you define your variables values altogether for consistency from very beginning to the end. All right, that's it. So if we type in df, as you can see here, Python output directly show you the information of this data frame. After we define the data frame further, we can check the main functions that are embedded in the pandas data frame, like head function, and show the top 5 rows by default. And the shape function can show you the dimension of this table, which has 4 rows and 3 columns. Based on the data frame, now let's try some interesting function called plot by using matplotlib package. Since we already imported the package, let's directly use the matplotlib package functions. For example, we want to plot the numeric data from the data frame. We could simply type in df plot. Use this plot function. As you click enter, the output indicates that the plot was created somewhere, and we need to use Matplot's API pyplot to show the plot result. And we need to type in plt.show. Recall that plt is the alias name of this API function pyplot. So we're going to use the show function from API pyplot to show this output. As you can see here, in output, we're going to show the 2 curves for cost and quantity from the data frame data. Okay. Now let's close this. And maybe you want to try a scatter plot by setting some quantity and cost values. So for example, we're going to use quantity as our horizontal axis and set cost as our vertical axis. We can do this way. X. Always remember, Python is case sensitive, so we have to follow exact the case format that you use to define your variables exactly. Okay, that's it. Click enter, and similarly plt show function to show the results. Okay, as you can see, and we'll figure out the relation between cost and quantity by using this scatter plot, right? And then maybe we say, okay, we want to plot some bar graph the same way. df plot. We take the basket item as the horizontal category, and we're going to take cost as the values to show the bar. And regarding the chart type, we're going to say bar. Okay, and then click enter and type in plt show function similarly to show this bar graph. So as you can see here, the horizontal axis, we're going to show the categories of the items, cabbage, apple, banana, and bread. The vertical, we're going to show the cost values for each individual category, right? So, all right. So these are the applications we usually use in Python plot. Hopefully, this function could help you on your daily data frame operations and plotting work.